What's up, guys? I am going to bring you a deck profile today for our next Sunday Showdown. Baxter and I have decided that it's going to be a throwback Sunday Showdown. So there's going to be a couple rules. The first rule, well, I guess it's not a rule, but both of us decided to run Mega Evolution decks, so that's going to be really interesting. And the second rule is we can't use anything that was released with Sun and Moon base set and forward. So everything from XY is allowed. So it's obviously expanded. It's going to be really exciting. We've run a couple of practice rounds with these decks, and I'm in for it, guys. His deck is strong, but I have faith in mine too. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So first and foremost, I'm so excited to run this deck. I've been working on it for a really long time. We're running 4 copies of Mewtwo EX. Now this particular copy, there's so many Mewtwo's out there, but this one is my favorite. It does Shatter Shot for 1 Psychic Energy, and it does 30 damage times the amount of Psychic Energy attached to this Pokemon. And then we have Damage Change, so if I get stuck using Mewtwo EX for a while without the Mega attached, I can use Damage Change, and it does, it takes 2 Psychic and 1 Colorless, and I get to switch all damage counters on this Pokemon with those on your opponent's active. It's so OP. I love it so much. Alright, so that is our basic Mewtwo. So far from being basic, though, if I do say so myself. Alright, and then we're running 3 copies of Mega Mewtwo EX, and this is Mega Mewtwo Y. I know there's 2 different kinds, and like I said, there's just so many different Mewtwo's, but this one is by far my favorite. And this is why. For a double colorless, it does Psychic Infinity. This attack does 30 more damage times the amount of energy attached to both active Pokemon. This attack's damage isn't affected by weakness. This is insane. He hits so hard, and I know the deck that I'm facing, he uses a lot of energy, but he also is very strategic and makes sure that that Gyarados doesn't come out until he's ready to one-shot me, so we're in for it. I have to really think smart. And then for the last of our Pokemon, I know it's not very many Pokemon, but we're making it work. The last Pokemon I run is Hoopa EX, and I'm only running this really for Scoundrel Ring. When you play this Pokemon from your hand onto your bench, you may search your deck for up to 3 Pokemon EX, except for Hoopa, reveal them, and put them into your hand, shuffle your deck afterwards. So I use this to build my bench. And usually I'll get like 2 basic Mewtwo EXs and like 1 Mega. Hopefully I have a Spirit Link so I can evolve that. So that's that for our Pokemon lineup. So now we can dive right into our items, or not items, supporters. So I'm running 2 copies of Lysander. And I am running, because it's expanded, I'm running via Seekers, so I don't load up on too many supporters. Too many of the same supporters. I have 2 copies of N. Can never... It's really hard for me to build a deck without N. He's a staple. 1 copy of Wally, so I can evolve on my first turn, or when my Mewtwo was put into play. Hopefully, again, we have that Spirit Link. 1 copy of Team Flaregrant. Haven't used this too much, but I'm leaving it in just because I won't always be facing the same deck, and you never know when you could use that. And I have 1 copy of Skyla. Skyla is in here primarily to bring out those Spirit Links or like any other items. I usually don't use her to get another supporter just because she is a supporter, and it's kind of counterproductive. But she's been really helpful getting those Spirit Links out in a timely fashion. I have 1 copy of Pokemon Center Lady because I do not like being hit by special conditions. It's a pet peeve. And Baxter knows it, man. 1 copy of Professor Sycamore. Can never run a deck without him either. 1 copy of Brock's Grit. It was really hard for me building this deck without Rescue Stretcher, so Brock's Grit had to be put in. And 1 copy of Pokemon Fan Club, just in case I can't get my Hoopa out. Oh, another thing is I'll Skyla for an Ultra Ball to get my Hoopa. That's been working out really well for me as well. So let's go into the items. I'm running 3 copies of Mega Turbo, just to be on the safe side and get those energy out of the discard pile. And of course, because it's expanded, I couldn't build a deck without 4 copies of VS Seeker. It's been really fun playing with VS Seeker again. Since Sun and Moon has come out, we've kept everything completely standard, so it's been really fun to change it up a bit. Okay, I have 2 copies of Max Elixir. Quickly growing to the top of my list of favorites. 2 copies of Professor's Letter. Again, I'm just all about stacking up those energy on that Mega Mewtwo. 2 copies of Energy Retrieval. 1 copy of Floatstone. Baxter likes to bring my Hoopa out a lot, so as long as I have my Floatstone on there, I feel a lot better about that. Even though it still sucks. Alright, I got 2 copies of Evo Soda. Again with the Evo Soda, I found that Wally has been working better for me just because I can do it on the first turn. Because I have a lot of resources in here to get those Mega Mewtwo's out. And 2 copies of Ultra Ball. Self-explanatory. Alright, and then we have 3 copies of Mewtwo Spirit Link. This makes it so that when I evolve into my Mega, my turn doesn't end. Those of you that might be new to the game and aren't really familiar with Megas, that's what it does. And so the Mewtwo Spirit Link, or they have Spirit Links for almost, I think, all of them, that have Mega Evolution, so that you can continue with your turn and attack after you evolve. We have 2 copies of Switch. Since we're not running very many copies of the Pokemon, it's really important that we save what we have. And 1 copy of Muscle Band, just to give us that extra kick if Mega Mewtwo gets put out a little bit before he's ready. And we're running a couple stadiums. I'm running 2 copies of Dimension Valley. This is an older one. Each Psychic Pokemon's attacks cost 1 colorless less. Honestly, I haven't used it, but it would come in handy for damage change. I just knew that I would need something to bump stadiums, and I can't use Field Blower, so we'll put stadiums. And then 1 copy of Silent Lab. It takes the abilities away from basic Pokemon, which I have actually misplayed and screwed myself over by shutting down Hoopa's ability, so we won't do that again. Alright, and now we're gonna get to the energy. I'm running a lot of energy, obviously, because that's what my deck works around. There's not much healing. I just need to make sure that I'm one-shotting, or at least putting enough damage where I won't lose my Mewtwo. It'll force him to retreat. So we're running 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 basic Psychic Energy. Nice reverse holo action there. 12 of those, and 2 copies of DCE. Self-explanatory. This deck is really hard-hitting. I have so much faith in it, and I'm so excited to finally run it on camera for you guys. It's been so much fun to play with, and he's a boss. He's rude. So yeah, make sure you guys subscribe and hit that little bell so that you can be notified when we do post this Sunday Showdown. It's going to be a really good one. I feel like the matchups are perfect for each other. So yeah, tune back in. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye.